Hey team, so let's chat surplus grading. Now, surplus comes to us from all around the world in all sorts of condition. To make sure you have a good idea of what you're getting, we've developed a clear grading system that gives a reliable idea of the condition of each product and its likely remaining lifespan. Sometimes you might want something that's near to new to complete a specific outfit or loadout, and other times you just need gear that does its job in the field, even if it looks a bit rough around the edges. When grading, we work off the common denominator of the batch, so that's not the very best and not the very worst. If there are certain items that are significantly more well-loved than others in the batch, then that will get its own listing and its own grade. So here's the scale that we use. New unissued, used excellent, used very good, used fair, and used value grade. Some of you will notice that grade 2 is gone and value grade has taken its place. Why? Because grade 2 sounded like nearly destroyed, when in reality these items still offer what I call great bang for buck. Now, as a hunter, I personally couldn't care less if my fleck-tan parka has a few stains, scuffs, repairs or holes, and I've never really heard any complaints from the venison either. But I'm really happy I only paid $35 compared to the $60 for the more aesthetically pleasing item. Multiply that across a whole loadout and the savings add up fast. The trick is figuring out which items must be in tip-top condition and which can have a little more wiggle room. Now let's take a closer look at each grade. First, we have new unissued. This is pretty self-explanatory. Items are brand new, sometimes still in their original packaging, or simply never issued or worn. This includes both commercial and military surplus. A great example of this grade is this British Op4 DPM shirt I have here. This garment has never been worn in the field and is in pristine condition. Despite not coming in any original packaging, this item is considered brand new and has its full lifespan ahead of it. Perfect for collectors or those who prioritize aesthetics. Next we have used excellent. These items have very slight signs of wear, often unused items with minor storage marks or handling wear. If worn, it's barely noticeable. From this grade, I have a pair of East German Rain camo trousers. We can see these trousers are also in near pristine condition with no directly noticeable wear visible. Due to the context of this item, we know they have spent long periods of time in storage and things like waistband elastic may be somewhat deteriorated. But all in all, if you showed someone that didn't know better, they would tell you they are in pretty much perfect condition. Moving down the list, we have used very good. Fully functional and tidy, but with obvious signs of use such as scuffs, light fading, or a name written inside of a collar. No repairs, holes, or major stains. An example of the very good category, I have this DPM shirt. As we can see, the shirt is in great condition still, and we have to look closely to see the signs of wear on it. With this example, the signs of wear are primarily down to the wind flap on the front, which shows light signs of wear along the zip, and some light scuffs along some of the seams. You may have to look for it, but there are clear signs that this shirt has been worn more than a couple of times, but still has 90% or more of its life left in it. Next we have used good. Still reliable and serviceable, but with more wear, fading marks, small stains, scratches or repairs. I have a fine example of a fleck-tan parka which fits pretty well into this category. The first thing we notice is that the parka is clearly quite faded. It's fleck-tan, so it's still looking pretty snazzy, but it doesn't have that new, fully saturated pattern. We can also see that there is a fair amount of scuffing along the seams, but there is clearly a whole lot of life left in this garment. Now we'll move on to used fair. Noticeably worn with fading, scuffs, stains and repairs. Still functional, but the issues are mainly cosmetic. As an example of this grade, I have a USGI cold weather fleece jacket. We can see straight away that the fabric looks a little more worn, it's seen more miles, but will clearly still keep you warm. The main issue that identifies it as a used fair grade garment is the large repair we see on the back here. The damage won't have any real functional effect on the garment, but it is a noticeable sign of heavy use. A great choice for anyone who is more concerned with function than fashion. And lastly, We move on to used value grade. These are heavily used items with either missing or broken components. They're perfect for anybody that's happy to roll up their sleeves and do a little bit of DIY. This is gear that often performs far above its price point. As an example of value grade, I have this DPM PLCE rucksack. We can see the pack is pretty heavily faded. There are a few holes here and there. The side pouches are missing, along with the waist strap buckle is also missing. So it's likely not a pack you're going to purchase one day and head out to the bush the next. However, with a little TLC, you can have a very functional pack to add to your arsenal. Give it a good clean and the pattern may show up better. Some duct tape or tenacious tape over the holes and pop online for a buckle replacement and you have an extremely capable pack that will serve you well out in the field. With the savings of 50% from the used goods grade version of the same pack, you can see where the grade gets its name from. I also have this value grade Croatian M65 woodland jacket for us to look at. Once again, the jacket is quite faded and has a fair amount of scuffing along the seams and cuffs. We can see that the chest pocket is missing part of the dome, which has left a wee hole, and that the zip puller is missing. So a well-loved item that still has a bunch of life left in it, especially with a little TLC. Now, hopefully this video has helped to demystify the grading system for you, and with a little consideration on the core requirements you have for your surplus, help you maximize your bang for buck here at Army and Outdoors.